Into week 2 power rankings for the 2019 FOH League. Greg Oswood squarely in 14th with a poor showing this week. 109.9 points scored. Obviously, you take a look at Melvin Gordon there, and you can see that being a big loss for him, as you saw Eckler score almost upwards of 40-some points in that Chargers offense. So big loss for him, having Melvin Gordon holding out. Looked bad. Joe Mixon looked okay. Peyton Barber's no longer starting. Cooks was good. Kupp, good to see Cooper Kupp back. Got a ton of targets. Allen Robinson looked good, even though Chicago's offense looked bad. Packers D may be good. We're not sure. Bills defense, interesting start. Got a nice matchup against Eli Manning. Should be good for him next week. Oswood coming in at 14th. As we check that against the league's final standing projections, they have Oswood outside the top 10 here, down by the bottom of the screen. So kind of goes in line with what their thoughts are, and that's probably because of the Melvin Gordon issues. Moving on, 13th. 13th is Team Zosel. Got a huge day from Dak Prescott and won by 1 point. So I'm going to say Team Zosel 13th. Now, as we look at him moving forward, if Hollywood Brown becomes who he's meant to be, 30.7 fantasy points this last week, then we can talk about him being in the top 1, 2, 3 teams in this league. But for now, we'll leave him in 13th place. In 12th, Mr. Jade Glennon, poor points, and with Tyreek Hill going out indefinitely, not a good look for Tucker and the Mr. Jade Glennon squadron. I just wish his team was as good as his dance moves out there at the Jaron Robinson wedding. Field is weird, Sproles carries it a couple times, Sanders, then Howard, then it's just a disaster. Chris Kirk could be good. The air raid offense looked bad for 3 quarters and good for 15 minutes, and it led to a tie. So wait and see, but Mr. Jade Glennon coming in here at 12th. Probably the worst team in the league, even though they actually outscored the other 2 teams. Hillary Clinton Dix, absolutely abysmal. Starting Jameis Winston at quarterback. I told him it was a disaster. He didn't listen, and that's what you get, an 0-1 start. I think he thought that the waiver rules were different, but they're not. And because he picked up Josh Gordon and drafted Antonio Brown, now he has both the New England receivers. Hate that. Lindsey and Denver looked terrible. Todd Gurley almost got out-snapped by the backup. Kittle, they figured him out. He's not playing on a dumpster fire anymore. He's playing on a real team, so he's not going to get 20 targets in garbage time. Tyrell Williams looked good. Overall, his lineup is it's weird. He's got a sexual assaulter, a drug addict, and the Ravens D. And famous Jameis, dude, crab legs. It's a bad roster. Bad roster. You know what? I'm going to change my mind. He's last. Clinton Dix is last, then Oswood, then Zosel, then Glennon. Moving right along. I'm going to go with the Bash Brothers. An 0-1 start. This team has promise. Josh Jacobs looked really good. Historically good. I'm pretty sure there's never been a rookie that's done 2 touchdowns and that many yards. Anthony Miller, I'm not sure he even saw a snap. He has 0 receptions, 0 yards. He drafted that guy. Devin Singletary looked encouraging. 4 attempts, 70 yards. Not sure how he only gets 4 attempts, 5 receptions, 28. His team looks okay. Kerryon Johnson, moving right along here. we'll go with ninth, Wonder Emmanuel Sanders. Derrick Henry, James Conner. I thought James Conner in Pittsburgh looked terrible. That's my cause for concern. Latavius Murray did not get the type of work I would have thought with New Orleans. Jalen Richard barely got a touch. Dante Pettis, it didn't look good. I would just say overall, if Kelsey doesn't go off and Derrick Henry doesn't go off, that he's going to have a hard time winning games. Okay. Next, I have got the Lego Men. Lego Men start 0-1 with a massive performance from Lamar Jackson, so that is frustrating. Montgomery didn't look good. Josh Jackson was outsnapped by Eckler. Mike Evans looked hobbled. Mike Thomas looked good. Hooper looked good. Galladay looked okay. What did Hooper do? Let's see who won that trade. Hooper, 9 for 77. I mean, he's good. I pretty much traded away the number 2 or 3 tight end in fantasy for Demaryius Thomas, who I'm probably going to drop, so that was bad. And then he's got Ronald Jones down here. Look for this guy, because Barry's talking about how much he loves Ronald Jones. Look for the Lego Men once things get going a little bit further to do some damage. I don't know. We'll just see what we get from Jackson. 6 for 57. I don't think Eckler can carry the ball as many times as he did last game. Jackson's going to get some more carries, and if we get, 41.1 from Lamar Jackson, then we're talking about a pretty special year. So look for the Lego Men to move up, but right now they're sitting at 7th or 6th, something like that. I can't remember where we're at. All right, next up we've got the teams that won in week 1. The teams that won in week 1. So we look at new golf cart season. Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Freeman. Juju didn't look good, neither did Pittsburgh. That's why they're ranked where they are here. Ballage, I mean, talk about being trapped on a bad team. They are not good. Hunter Renfrow didn't impress me. Vance McDonald was a dud. But Delaney looked good. If you can get some action from Delaney consistently getting 2 touchdowns a week, that could be nice. So Walker, Watson, Chubb, if he can get some more production from Smith-Schuster, look out. He's going to be a tough out. And Watson looked really good. What a nice week from Watson. 268, 3 touchdowns, did everything but win the game. That was an incredible ending to that one. Moving along, Team Slexy. Roethlisberger looked bad. He won't be that bad all year. Dalvin Cook looked amazing, didn't he? 21 attempts, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Stay healthy. Reminds me of Terrell Davis. He looked good. And they're saying, 51% positive feedback. T.Y. Hilton, he looked good. I thought Brissett looked pretty good, better than people thought. Remember the Colts almost won that game. And then I wanted to draft Ingram. I just didn't get him in time. He looked good. 14 attempts, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. Remember, he is probably the best Heisman Trophy winning running back in recent memory, or best Heisman Trophy winner in recent memory, really. I mean, he's had a nice career. I would say he's had a better career than Reggie Bush. On the bench, not much to speak to. He has rostered Mitch Trubisky, though. I think that'll change. Justice for All. Justice for All looks good, and mainly because of Austin Eckler. Look at the day he had. Look at those 2 bald heads, Eckler and Hasselbeck. But 12 attempts, 58 yards. But then if we go and look at the passing, 6 receptions, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. So almost kind of tricky looking numbers where PPR it's just way better. But yeah, 6 extra points of PPR looked pretty good. Edelman looked good. Kyle Rudolph was bad, though. 0 receptions, 0 yards, 0 targets, I think. James White on the bench. Reed's hurt. And Geis is hurt, so these guys could be moving down in future weeks, but Eckler sure looked good, and so did Kyler Murray. And hopefully Julio can get that question mark away from him. He seems like he's almost injured all the time. Jones has his left wrist wrapped. That's not good. Next, I've got at third, Patty Hawkins, some touchdowns. Great looking roster last week. Marlon Mack looked great. McCaffrey looked great. Mahomes looked great. Mike Williams only played like one quarter. Hopefully he can get healthy. DK Metcalf looked good in his debut. He was 4 receptions, 89 yards. Metcalf caught 4 of 6 targets. And he was, I think, the most targeted receiver. He hit Lockett deep late, but that was about it. And then Christian McCaffrey. Huge, massive week. Massive week. All right, moving on. We have got at number 2, Los Harpercitos. Breeze looked good. David Johnson looked really good. Let's take a look at him. 18 for 82. 6 for 55 and a touchdown. Looked like the David Johnson of old. And then I thought Hunter Henry, he's going to be real good. And then something from his bench. Madison got 9 attempts. I thought that was big. That means they're going to use him. And he was real close to going for a touchdown. So look for that team to do some damage. Keenan Allen, how good is he? How good is the Chiefs' offense? Damian Williams. And then at number 1, the best team in this league is owned by none other than Ryan Durkin. Make America great again. Make America great again. Make Kamara great again. Alvin Kamara, Leonard Fournette, and this man right here, the bane of Spencer Hill's existence, position rank 1, Sammy Watkins. 9 catches, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did he rush the ball? 50-something, almost 50 points. Incredible performance. And that is it. The only other team I think I missed was the Bums. And let's just throw them in there. We'll say they were 10 or something. Thielen, Newton, Barkley, Cohen, Moore. The reason I rank them where I rank them, where I don't really give them a rank, is that I would say they could be number 1, but they just had a bad week. As we look at Waller, Freeman, Corey Davis, those guys are all going to be good. Fitzgerald's going to be great in this new offense. Ertz, Thielen, Cohen, Barkley, Newton could be a pretty stout team, and I would say they're kind of 10 this week, but 1A with Make America Great Again. They're going to be great all year long, but suffered a tough loss to Sammy Watkins. This has been the Week 1 Power